Wake that ass up.
Early in the morning.
The Breakfast Club.
Morning, everybody. It's DJ MV, Angela Yee, Charlamagne the Guy. We are the Breakfast Club. We got a special guest on the line right now. Her album is out today. Teyana
right.
Taylor.
Hey.
DT.
Y'all already starting at 6 a.m. with the joke. Y'all not even in the same room and y'all still going at it.
Oh, we go
It's not 6 a.m. It's not 6 a.m. here.
Well, it's 6 a.m. here and y'all already going
Yeah, I
at
know.
it from different homes, okay? From Zoom.
The album is out. We're not even just saying the album. That's actually the title. Why did you go with the album?
I just felt like I wanted to get straight to the point, and I felt like this was the album, and I felt like, I answered to everyone's concerns and complaints, and it was like, okay, this is the album you want, this is the album you're gonna get. The album was too short the last time, now I'm gonna give your ass the album, full length.
I love the intro, by the way. I think that was so dope how you started it. That was like a tear jerker, listening to it, emotional. That was so dope. When did you decide to do that?
Teyana, you sound far from the phone, too. You sound far from the phone.
I sound far? Okay. I actually,
there we go.
Thanks. I actually had that for a minute because we had created an intro for it for KTSE. And I held on to it. And it's crazy, and I'm happy that I did because, once Junie got on the Raw song, I had to reach out, ask her people if she could hop on the song, go through all these clearances and everything. And then once I finally got clear about Junie, I'm like, yo, the intro would be super dope if she's the first voice that everybody hear, when we come out of that. So like the timing for that was amazing, and I'm happy I didn't use it when I originally wanted to use it.
Junie looked like she naturally got it. Junie looked like she naturally got it. She can dance. She was harmonizing on the song "Come Back to Me."
Feel me? Like,
how long did it take her to get that right?
I don't even think I went on Instagram Live when we were first creating it, and it was just like she got on the mic and nobody had to tell her what to do. But Junie's also one of my biggest fans, so she knows all my songs. Like to this day, she watched Google me 6 times a day, and I just be cringing you have to love this song. That girl is literally my biggest fan. I love her so much. So she already knew the words to Come Back to Me, because Come Back to Me was an older record as well. So she always knew the song.
So congratulations. You didn't say congratulations yet. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Right.
How are you doing during this pandemic being pregnant? How was that?
We just said F Junie.
No, we didn't say congratulations. No, we didn't say congratulations.
Actually, this is Junie's baby. You see.
Yeah, Junie spilled the beans.
She pushed me my hand yo, it is not giving all that, The pandemic has been very, very, the pandemic was okay because I was able to actually lock in and perfectly sequence out my album. Pandemic was lock in time, It was everything else that started happening to our people is when shit got really, really tough for me, Everything that was going on with our people and me being pregnant was very tough, because that enrage that we felt, that hurt that we felt, I felt that times 20. You know what I'm saying? Being a pregnant woman and super emotional, I couldn't even stomach more than half of the things that I was watching. It's just, it was a lot for me. Very, very, very emotional for me.
Right. No, I think for a lot of people, just mentally, sometimes I have to be okay, just for a couple hours, I can't watch the news or look at my Instagram. What are some things that you do so you can just stay in a better space at times? Honestly,
I've gotten very, very, very heavy into meditation, just resetting myself, centering myself and just praying, praying for my Black family, my Black child, my Black husband, my Black people, and the families that are losing family members, so you're right. Just getting off of social media, of course, doing my part first. I take care when I take care, whether that's spread awareness across my platform, donate, to different things. But after that, yeah, I'm kind of just off I created a whole meditation area on my balcony. And, you know, even Junie, she comes out there, she's like, Mom, are we meditating today? You know, like it's really calming, like my sage. And, you know, and I just pray, and we go around in a circle and we talk about the things that are heavy on our hearts. And we talk about all the events that's going on. And we talk about our concerns and just let it all out. And whether that, you know, ends up with us crying or enraged or going off, like we literally just let it out and then we meditate.
What got you into meditation?
What's going on in this world? That's what got me into that, you know. And like I said, being pregnant, because everything that I go through, I have to still remember that I'm carrying a child, you know, and they feel everything. So if I'm stressing, my stomach will start getting hard, you know, I'm crying, my stomach will start hurting. Like, I'm just like, okay, I really need to calm myself down, you know, because y'all know me, I'm a little aggressive, you know, so I'm kind of like, you know, with the shits. So to see what's happening with our people, like, it enrages me, you know, and it's just like, I have to reset myself, you know, because I am still a mom's wife.
Who introduced you to meditation? Like, why meditation? Like, why not therapy? Because I love meditation too, but why not therapy or something else? Why meditation?
Because I felt like every time I had to catch myself and calm myself down, I just took a deep breath. Like, I've done it before, I just never like all the way did it. Like how deep I am and like how deep I'm into it now was just me taking it to the next level. It wasn't even really like a conversation with anybody, or it was anything that I seen. I was just like, yo, I need to start meditating. Like, I need to really, you know. And at the time when everything first started, I was in LA and Iman was in Atlanta. So I was really kind of like having anxiety a little bit, you know, because there was a lot going on everywhere, you know. And it's just like, you're a Black man, you know. I already take a risk with every day you walk out that door. But now that I'm 3,000 miles away from you, you feel what I'm saying? Like, and it's crazy out there and it's crazy out here, you know, because most importantly, just as much as it's happening to men, it's happening to women and kids as well. You know, so I had a lot to worry about and a lot to balance as far as being, you know, a wife and a mom and a pregnant woman, and then all still trying to handle, you know, business. And, you know, it was a lot, and I just needed a couple days to, like I said, reset myself. So I have an area on my balcony and I have an area up under my steps on my main level.
What do you tell Junie? Because I know Junie is, as you said, she's Googling, she's online, so I'm sure she sees so much and it's been on the TV. What do you tell her? I'm
spreading knowledge, you know. She's only 4, but she needs to know now. You know, she needs to know now what's going on. I think I do a great job at balancing, you know, how to get the message across, because I'm more of a teaching her who the good people are from the bad people. You know, and what's love and what's hate, rather than who's Black or who's white, because racism is taught. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's not something that a kid is born with, you know, but she needs to know not to be naive as well. You know, she needs to know that you are a brown girl. You do have curly, coily hair, and you will embrace that. And I'm happy that she does. Like, when I do her hair, she's like, Mommy, I want the 2 buns in the front and the my fro in the back, you know, and I love that. And it makes me so proud. But it's like, yeah, Junie, she will be that person that take a stand, you know. Like, I will not sugarcoat anything with Junie. You got some good cops and you also got some bad cops, period. Like, it's nothing, it's a tough conversation, but when you're a Black woman, when you're a Black person in America, the conversation has to be had. It has to be had. And I feel like that's why a lot of kids are like naive a little bit now, because of what they're being, you know, taught. And like you said, this is the era of kids being on iPads, and I don't know what she's watching on those phones and iPads. So you need to know what's going on, because when we go to the park and those kids give you a certain look, and it's like, nah, it's not giving that. Like, we not doing that. You feel what I'm saying? 'Cause I don't know whatever y'all think y'all got going on, but it's not that. But that shit is taught. That shit is taught. So I teach her, because what I don't want her to do is, because she is still so young, I don't want her to feel like, oh, that's how I have to act. No, that's not how you have to act. Those are just bad people. Period. Mm-hmm. I don't care how old you are. Them motherfuckers is bad. And they bad, literally. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, she knows. I be in the park sometimes, be ready to fight some kids. I be like, yo.
Teyana, you can't fight no kids, Teyana. Do not do that.
But that's why I'm meditating.
You could triple. You could triple.
Like, but it's real. Because
you gotta fight their parents for teaching them that.
Yes, like Junie's so pure, but she's so aware, you know, like, but her pureness and her innocence, she loves everybody. And she just has to know that everybody's not going to love her back. Because if you see the puzzledness of her face when we go to the park and certain kids act a certain way.
That's crazy.
Yeah, so I'm not going to sit there and say, come here, honey, it's okay. Nah, we on that. And I'm sorry, I don't have no remorse, because clearly they're not hearing us. They don't hear us when we're trying to have peace. They don't hear us when we're asking for love. You feel what I'm saying? So they're going to have to see us and they're going to have to feel us, period.
Does it scare you to bring another child into this world?
Huh?
Does it scare you to bring another child into this world?
I mean, it's scary to have a child in this world. It's scary that of course it's scary, but it's not anything that is like regretful that I don't want to do. Like, I'm very happy. I'm very excited. I will make sure that my family is protected and do what I need to do. But I think the important thing to do is to be real with them and have those conversations so we're all prepared to be Black in America.
Right.
Absolutely. When did you make the record Made It? I'm sorry. When did you make the record Made It? Was it during the pandemic? Because it fits like that.
No,
record
and that's
feels
what's crazy.
Good.
I honestly, the 3 records that really is perfect for this time was made back when I did KTSE.
Really?
And those were some of the songs that didn't make the album. So Made It was just, I wanted to highlight Black excellence and just highlight our culture, and more so the people behind the cameras. I feel like it's a lot that go into making the people in front of the cameras the stars. You know, you have radio stations and you have PR departments and you have management and you have, you know what I'm saying? Like, you have all these factors because it takes a village, you know what I'm saying? And I feel like that village is never really acknowledged. So that's who it was for: the doctors, the nurses, the people who may have dropped out of high school, went back and got their GED, dropped out of college, went back and got their degree. Like, you made it because you didn't give up. You know, you might have took a little break, but it was there waiting for you when you got back. You feel what I'm saying? And you made it, which is the reason why when you see the video, it's like, I made a choice to be in the industry, you know, at a young age. So I didn't get to graduate. And I knew how that shit felt. Like, I was homeschooled, so I graduated in Starbucks. And I was pissed the day of graduation. You know, I'm from Harlem, so everybody in Harlem, they cap and gowns. I'm tight. You feel what I'm saying? So I'm in Target. I'm in Starbucks with a whole attitude, just sitting there with the mean mug on the whole time. And my teacher handed me the cap and gown, but at that point, it was like, you know, after school hours. But, you know, it still made my day, but it was nothing like, damn, like, I want classmates, you know, like, I want to be able to walk across the stage. I put in 4 hard, you know, years of work and really just chilling at Starbucks because I didn't want to be home. I was homeschooled. So it's just like, I can only imagine what they're going through in the pandemic of people who have actually went to school, actually have been with, you know, their classmates, and then a pandemic happened. They just like, oh yeah, you can't walk across the stage no more. You won't be celebrated. Your whole light has been dimmed. I'm like, oh no, it's not giving that. So the video is going to always have that graduation theme, but it was going to be graduation and then going into the doctors and nurses. So everything that's happening with our appreciation for the nurses during the pandemic and graduates, that was already the video. And that's the first thing I told the label. I don't want this to be no like celebrity filled video highlighting the celebrities, because we can't do this shit by ourselves. And also being a director and being behind the lens in a way that I love to help other artists. Like, I enjoy being behind the lens damn near more than I enjoy being in front of it. But it's people like y'all that, you know, support me and keep me going. Like, I've called Charlamagne plenty of times, like bawling, crying, you know, and it was always like a tough love, like, T, pick that shit up, like, you know, you good, you know. But it's those little things that are important and that should be celebrated in today's culture that I feel like is not really celebrated as much.
Yeah, I think what
goes
people are
crazy.
impressed by when it comes to Teyana Taylor is not only are you such a great artist, a great performer, you're great behind the camera. As we can see, you're a great mom too, and putting together this album. I have to ask you this question though. How did you get Lauryn Hill to do something? Because I know how hard that is for people to track down Lauryn Hill.
She's on We Got Love.
Honestly, y'all know how I feel about, you know, the legends before me and how like the respect that I hold for them, you know, and I think it's just about, you know, just being more so appreciative and just working your area, you know, like that wasn't an easy breezy, yo, Lauryn, do this for me. Like that was putting in that hard work that you thought that nobody noticed, you know, and then like that's kind of the example of you never know who's watching, and the right people know, you know, they get it, they know what's going on. But it's crazy because a few years back, her daughter was turning 16. So I think she was having her sweet 16. And because, you know, I had a sweet 16 or whatever, they wanted me to come through. And it was like super last minute. It wasn't anything that was planned out. I actually just picked up Iman from a game. This is when he was playing for the Knicks. And we drove straight from the game to her party. And I think everybody was shocked that I like really showed up, and I bought Shump. So it was like, you know, all the boys of the party was going crazy. All the girls of the party was going crazy. And Lauryn was there, and, you know, she knew who I was. I met her, but I was still giving her a space because, you know, the moment was about her daughter. I wasn't trying to make that like, oh my God, this is about me meeting you thing, you know? But I thought it was dope because somehow we ended up having a very like lengthy conversation just about the industry, and I'm just telling her, you know, how I feel and different things like that. And we held a very long conversation, and she was really dropping gems. Like I could literally listen to her voice all day, which is the reason why I asked for custom words of encouragement. And it's crazy because she never forgot that day. So not only did she respect me as an artist, but she respected me for coming through. And to her eyes, and in my eyes, I'm like, yo, of course, anything, you know. And for her, it's like, yo, you really came through, and you didn't have to do that, you know. And she never forgot that. And when we reached out to her about doing a voice note, she personally sent me over the voice note. So like I earned that. Even to this day with Ever, you see I sampled The Sweetest Thing.
Yes.
And she directly reached back out and like got her team on it. You know what I'm saying? Because we wasn't really hearing back from the team, and she was like, got an email like, yo, we need to push this through for T. Like she came through for me. Like, and she always bring up this story about, you know, me coming to her daughter's party. And I love that because it's like, that's not something that you would think that a Lauryn Hill would remember. She don't even have to. Like, you Lauryn Hill, you know what I'm saying? So, I mean, I've always been kind of like open with going for it, you know, as you can see, whether it's Wu-Tang, Erica, you know, Lauryn, Missy, you know, I go for it. I shoot my shot, and, you know, I get them buckets.
You know, you got Erica and Missy on the album, right? Do you think that your generation appreciates those features?
I think the real ones do, you know what I'm saying? Like, and I also think that the young ones do as well, you know, but sometimes the younger ones is more like, oh, she's so stuck in the 90s. And it's like, bro, like this is a circle of life and a circle of music. And we should always be schooling our younger generation on the greats. You feel what I'm saying? Because there's always going to be another. And as this generation gets younger and younger, they'll know legends less and less. You feel what I'm saying? And then people show less and less of respect. And it's just like, I feel like there's a fine line, you know, but I also think that it is a big deal for people that really, really love music. This is a big deal, you know, but maybe to some others, it may feel like, well, why, how come she don't ever want to do nothing? And I think I find a great balance in working with, you know, the legends before us and you know, current artists. But if that's just my personal style of music, that's my personal style of music. And if you notice, even the samples that I used, I think it was only like one song or two songs that I actually was close to a hook. But rather than that, like, it's not really an interpolation type thing where, like, you know, I'm really turning these songs into my own and really making them more so like part twos and, you know, making them, you know, in the now, like 2020, you know. And that's why Erica really loved Lifetime, because she's like, yo, you really made this shit like you put the sauce on it. You know what I'm saying? Like low key. I'm sorry, I keep calling it Lifetime. Low key. You know, that's what really made her love it, because she was like, how you flip that was so fire. She's like, a lot of artists get on records and they'll just re-sing your song and they send it to you and ask you to clear it. She said, but the fact that you put your own twist on it and you make it new, you make it swaggy, you make it you know, is important. And she was like, I would be honored to be on this record.
Right.
That's dope.
A lot of people were mad about your listening session you had the other day. They were saying that there wasn't enough social distancing. So tell us about this listening session, because you had hazmat suits, you had masks.
Where was the mask, TT?
Huh? What you say?
Where was the mask?
No, we had them, and I had actually, you know me, I'm very extra. So I had the custom hazmat suits, and I had custom masks, which you can see in the pictures that I posted. The only issue with that is we had T-shirts, we had jackets, everything. The thing about it is, let's stop acting like we don't know how photographers get down. If you think they really gonna wait, they're gonna be taking pictures while everybody's face is covered, and they're trying to make sure they grab a shot, because you got 6 photographers there that's trying to hurry up and get their shots in. You know what I'm saying? So it's just like, they waited until, you know, masks came off for the picture and they took their pictures. You know what I'm saying? And if you notice, they didn't use any pictures with people that actually had on the mask. But we definitely had on the mask. It was only a 60-person party. The house was like 20,000 square feet. And the studio rooms, how we had the album set up, the album was playing in different rooms. So it was more like an exhibit, like art installation, more than it was like a crowded ass party. Majority of the party was outside. They just put out what they wanted to put out. But, you know, it actually wasn't even that many people that was mad. I just got on top of it so they knew, because I had took my time to, you know, design these masks and these hazmat suits, and I wanted them to be seen. I'm like, yo, where all the pictures with the mask at? But, you know, I'm pregnant, so I can't have it on. I'm on and off with it. That's why, if you notice, I had a bandana in my hand the whole time, because it's, you know, hard for me to breathe in those things. So it's like
those hazmat suits were so fly too. I was
it was dope, right? Like, yeah, like we had the whole thing, you know. Yeah, and we had the COVID police there. We had medics there. Like, we followed the guidelines. If we didn't follow the guidelines, we would have been shut down. You know, like,
you said the COVID police. What is the COVID police?
COVID police is the people that make sure you're doing what you got to do, or that party will get. So kind of like the fire marshals, like how you see they'll come and be like, this shit has to get shut down. Like, the COVID police is to make sure everybody, like, you know, take your thermometer, like take your temperature, whatever. Like they're really making sure that we're following the guidelines. And if you had to be there to see it, because the whole experience was dope. And it was just one room that the photographers caught, because you got Cardi B standing in there, you got Quavo standing in there, you got, you know, Trey Songz, you got all these different artists. Absolutely, the moment that mask come off, they're snapping up pictures, because there's but so much you can do with pictures of a whole bunch of eyes. Real shit.
So when did they get the dress code? Because Cardi had on a hazmat suit too. Somebody made that for her?
Yeah, I made them. So what I did was I got all of them made, because it was only 60 people invited. So if anybody else was there, you know how niggas do at parties, they finesse, somebody got their way in, but it was a 60-person party. And I made 60 hazmat suits. And I got all the hazmat suits to everybody in time, so they can get them, you know, tapered or whatever, so they can personalize how they want it, you know, how they want it to wear it. So the hazmat suits was already hand delivered to everybody's home before the party even started, because you wasn't even allowed to walk into the house without the mask and the suit on.
Wow.
All right.
Okay.
Well, let's not act like it don't be 100 motherfuckers packed up in Target with their mask on. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Teyana, I'm about to go on vacation. I'm about to go on vacation, so I have nothing to say about that. So and they're mad at me for that. The same people that's saying it's about to be the same people that's out like, happy Juneteenth, we cooking out, we having a barbecue. It's just like, you just chose me to do that because people just like to talk about something, you know what I'm saying? Instead of just saying, you know what, she had a listening party and that shit looked lit. And that's really what it was. You probably was just tight that she wasn't there because the shit was lit, you know? Here we go.
It was a small party.
Now, you know I love some Teyana visuals, and I got to ask you, are you going to do the song Killer with Davido?
Yes, I am. I honestly plan on doing a video to all of them, maybe making it like a mini movie. Because, I mean, I'm doing October. So as soon as I drop this baby, it's lit, you know? Or if there's anything that I can do, like from, you know, shoulders up, then I'll do that. You know, I'm going to find creative ways to get videos done. Because I did Bear With Me and Wake Up Love and the Old Spice commercial when I was 5 months pregnant. Right. So if there's any more ways that I could, finesse, my belly, I'm down to do it. So we've already been working out a couple things to get a few videos done, just so, because October is really not that far. That's in 3 months. So it's like I can just keep releasing videos and keep getting them done.
What's the due date?
I want you to explain. Okay.
Huh?
What's the due date? That's all.
October 3rd. But if she on Junie time, she might come a whole month early. So it just depends on what type of time she on.
Gotcha.
I want you to explain the artist sampling, right? You touched on it a little bit because I saw them on getting on Saweetie the other day for remaking older records. And you do that as well. Please explain to people why that's okay. Because I don't understand why people get upset at that.
I mean, the sad part about it, and honestly, even with Saweetie, like she'll have a beat sample, but she's not on there interpolating the song. I think there's no issue because you have to think about it. Diddy is one of the greatest, and he literally said in the song, take beats from the 80s and make them sound so crazy. But because the generation don't know those songs back in the 80s and the 70s, it's not a big deal. The same way Gonna Love Me was a sample. It's not a big deal when they don't know. So you have to think about it. Saweetie is also a younger generation. So if what she like is from the early 2000s, let her live her life. You feel what I'm saying? It's the same thing that every single artist do. You know what I'm saying? Y'all just don't know the artists that they're sampling. You feel what I'm saying? Like y'all just don't know the knowledge. That's what I mean about the youngins and the people that actually know music. I don't feel like there's an issue with that. You know what I'm saying? And it's like this new generation is like, if you're not in 2020, if you're not in the now, then you're copying. But it's like your favorites do the same exact thing, and it's okay. You know what I'm saying? It's okay to take a beat, a portion of a beat that you like, and as long as your lyrics is on point and the actual song is cool, then you're fine. But I don't think that's considered. You know what I'm saying? But if it was your favorite, they could literally interpolate a whole song and it's like, yes, it's work, or yes, daddy work. And I think that's unfair. So they pick and choose who's allowed to sample beats and who's not. Hov do it, Puff do it. Like, you know what I'm saying? We all do it. That's real music. Nas, everybody, we all do it. But as long as you make it your own, like, you know what I'm saying? Even with the Delphonics, like, I love stuff like that because when he played the Gonna Love Me beat, I was like, what song is that? And now I listen to the Delphonics on a regular. Like that helps. That's schooling the younger generation. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Even when I released 7 and I did Broken Hearted Girl and I had the Portuguese Say Love at the end, like people went back like, what's that? That's Tina Marie. You know what I'm saying? So kids didn't even know what that was and screaming to the top of their lungs when I'm in concerts, singing that part. And I'm like, it's just so dope to see that because our legends need to be celebrated. You know what I'm saying? But I don't think that everything needs to be like, oh my gosh, she always da 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 da. Like as you can see, like I break mine up. Mine is not every single, song, but so what? If I want to pay homage the same way everybody else do, y'all just don't know the ones that the other artists are paying homage to because those are generations before you. So I'm happen to be in a generation where I love the 90s. You know what I'm saying? So some of the things that I sample, is just what I like. But if the actual person whose song it is supports me, that's all that matters because I don't, it doesn't really matter to me. But I hate that a sample in a beat will be like, oh my God, can she just get out of this aesthetic? And it's like, my nigga, the words is still very different. The hook is even still very different. Like, it's okay. And I don't feel like there's anything wrong with what Saweetie's doing. Like I said, like she's not interpolating PD Pablo. She's not, you know what I'm saying? Like if she was on the phone with the song singing his verses, it would be like, all right, girl. You know what I'm saying? But she's legit. She just, if she liked the beat, that's just what she liked. And clearly there's a lot of people that's hating, but there's a lot more people that love it. And that's how I look at it. Like, period.
What do you think about the NBA coming back if Hubby decides to play this season? Are you for him playing or maybe not because of everything that's going on with COVID?
Honestly, COVID that's a whole nother thing. You know what I'm saying? I think the most important thing for me is what the most important thing is. And everything that's going on right now, I just personally don't feel like it's the time for you know, any type of sports, honestly, because I feel like it take us off track of what's more important, you know, and what our eyes are on. If we're too busy watching the game, how are we supposed to be watching these cops not letting people breathe? You feel what I'm saying? But that's just my personal opinion, you know, and I just think that there's more important things going on right now. And I know some NBA fans and sports fans are probably gonna be mad at me, but I mean, I don't play sports, you know what I'm saying? But I just think that there's way more important things to handle right now. Until we see real change, I think that everything kind of just needs to like chill out. You know what I'm saying? Like it ain't even that much. Like, yeah, you know, you can go, you know, pregame and, you know, throw your fist up or halftime and make an announcement, Black Lives Matter. But to me personally, it's just not enough. It's not enough. We need more. We need to focus.
T, speaking of focus, have you ever talked to a therapist? Because you've been in this business a long time and this shit will drive you crazy.
It will drive you crazy. But actually, I haven't spoken to one. I was thinking about it though, but honestly, the meditation has been helping me like a lot. And, you know, just doing a lot of reading. I think if you self-heal first, then you actually have the balls to go and see a therapist. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think that it's steps. I think people think that it's just so easy to like, just go in and talk to somebody and let them heal you. And it's like, nobody can heal you if you're not healed within. You know what I'm saying? Like, you need to catch yourself and reset yourself and then be in a position to where, like, it's literally levels to it, and be in a position where you can go and, you know, see somebody. But like I said, even people like y'all and my friends and my family and my management, I still have people around me that have a great, you know, head on their shoulders that are guiding me in the right, you know, direction. So I kind of take all of that in. But, you know, like you always tell me, I've always been very like sane, you know, and whatever does bother me or is driving me crazy, I always kind of keep it more behind closed doors and off of social media. And, you know, because I know I have people to inspire, you know, and I kind of just deal with that, you know, privately. And just coming to peace with a lot of things, you know, like I'm coming to peace with a lot of things that, you know, I'm okay with, you know, things that I can't control. That's just like, okay, cool. Like, let me just be at peace with that. And I think I'll be fine. And I've been at peace with a lot of stuff.
Has your marriage changed from being at home during the pandemic? Like, did y'all learn stuff about each other that you didn't realize before being home together?
You know, it's crazy during the pandemic. Like I said, I built the studio in my office, and he built the studio in his man cave. So we literally
I got two different studios.
Setup, huh?
I got two different studios.
Yeah. So it was a dope setup, because honestly, I think the real fights would have started if we were sharing one studio. You know what I'm saying? Because he's trying to get his work done, I'm trying to get my work done. And we kind of just meet up, breakfast, lunch, and dinner. You know, I cook, make sure he eat, and then we go to bed. I think it's a great balance, because even though we're in the same house, it gives us time and space to miss one another during a pandemic where you got to be stuck in the house with each other. So I think that our setup that we had was really, really dope. We had these little fake listening parties. It was only like 2-3 people there, like whoever was staying in the house with us. We like, yo, we going to the man cave, listen to Shump album. It's lit. They gonna let us in at the door. Security acted stupid. Like, we always had a lot of, you know, we had a lot of fun. We had the gender reveal. Like, we had a lot of like cute, fun stuff with literally just whoever his engineer was, or like, you know, my parents, like very, very small, cute, creative, finding creative things to do, you know? So this is actually like a really dope setup. But since everything else and got to LA, we just been focusing on, you know, spending a lot of time. Like, we missed each other a lot.
Tell Shump, wake up, love. That's the best verse he ever spit in his life. It is, though.
Good. That was a good verse.
On that.
It was a good verse.
Like, you're not gonna talk about
it. How does the situation with your last album, Keep the Same Energy, make you appreciate the album more, this album?
I think that I was able to really, I think with KTSE, I was trying to express every emotion in 7 songs. You know, I think with this album, I was actually able to really get into my emotions and my feelings with each section of the album. So now certain songs or certain things are not really catching you off guard. You're prepared. You know what Studio A is. Then you know it goes into Studio L, which is the more, you know, sexual, sexy baby making type records. And then you know after that is going into the bad bitch records, you know? And then you know Studio U is going into your ballads and, you know, your fighting for love records. And then you know Studio M is going into your up tempos, your moves, the We Got Loves, the Made It's, the How You Want It, you know, a little bit of emotion from each studio room. So that's why I sequenced it the way that I did. And I wanted to do something that was never done before. I wanted to set it up like when you go to concert, you see everything is like bunched up in these like clusters. You know, you'll have a whole section where it's just sexy, a whole section where you get your slow ballads. So that's how I, you know, divided up my album and created the sequencing and different things like that. And each studio room spells out album. So it's ALBUM.
Oh, wow.
Huh.
So,
You got Quavo on there singing. You got Quavo on there doing
yeah,
ballads.
you know, I got him on there on
Let's
some super R&B shit, you know? And it was a song that we both were really, really excited about. I remember when we first recorded it, he was like, yo, you dead ass, I'm really out here singing. Like, he out here hitting the notes too and a little bit of runs. I'm like, okay. So it was dope that I was able to, you know, have him like out of his element. I thought it was pretty cool. And I think this will make the album special because I have like very rare features, and then, you know, the current artists that's doing their things is like, it's out of the box, you know, it's like in a whole different element. So I think this album is just it's special to me, and it was something that I was 100% hands-on with and able to actually sit with and live with and not, you know, rush it.
You had Big Sean talking nasty with Shump like, yo, he better watch himself.
Huh?
Big Sean was talking nasty on the album.
Oh yeah, he was talking his shit, but I wouldn't expect, you know, anything less. And that's another thing that I appreciate. Like, I appreciate that, like, the people that I want on records are not giving me half-ass verses. You know what I'm saying? Like, they're really diving into, you know, music is an art. Music is entertainment, and they're diving into that, you know. And I love the fact that nobody is holding back, you know, even with Erica's verses. Like, she could have gave me 4 bars and I would have been okay. She could have gave me just the talking part and I would have been okay. But it's like, people are really putting their all into it, you know. And one thing I feel like is a lot of people, you know, sometimes treat you differently because you married, or treat you differently because you pregnant. They feel like you crippled. They feel like you can't do this, you can't do that. And it's just like, you know, I'm still an artist. I'm still an entertainer, you know. So don't give me no weak ass verse. Don't give me the verse of, you know, you pregnant, you know what I'm saying? Like, you married.
Right.
It's like, my nigga, this shit is a song. You know what I'm saying? Like,
that's interesting.
You know, on a record, and stop, you know, treating women like that, like they're crippled, that they can't be an artist. Like, it's artistry, it's entertainment. It ain't nothing personal. Don't give me no weak ass verse.
That's a great point, because it is true. Like, you don't want people to not come correct and not come how they're acting. It is just entertainment. It's not like, all right, I'm giving you this verse, but that means I'm trying to do this to you.
You know
it's
what I'm saying? Nah, it's just, but that, and you already know, like, certain artists, how they rap. You know what I'm saying? That's like people saying, oh, well, oh my God, the Let's Build song with Teyana and Quavo, they have such chemistry. I think they're dating. Like, no, nigga, it's a song. You feel what I'm saying? So it's just like, we all know that Sean talks his shit in records, and that's the Sean that I want. Even with Future, I'm like, yo, this is the type of verse that I want. You know what I'm saying? Like, you talk your shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, do what you do, because I want certain people on these records for certain reasons. So, like, you know, give me your all, and I feel like everybody, you know, gave their all, and I'm so appreciative.
Let's play a record off the album.
Congratulations, man.
Yeah,
what song you want to go? I like Booming, yo. I ain't gonna
Not Made It. I play Made It anyway. So what you want to hear?
I'm with Charlamagne with Booming.
You said what? Say it again.
Booming?
I said I'm with Charlamagne with Booming.
All right, well, let's get into Booming, and we appreciate you for checking in.
Teyana, congratulations on your family, the new baby, the marriage, the album. We're glad you're healthy, mentally, physically, and spiritually. We love you, and you make Starbucks proud. As an alma mater of Starbucks, make them proud, okay?
Thank you, guys. I appreciate y'all.
All right, it's Teyana Taylor. It's The Breakfast Club. Good morning.